Have you ever built a machine learning model that worked perfectly on your laptop? Absolutely crushed it, only to have it fail spectacularly out in the real world? Well, today, we're going to talk about Elastic Net Regression. It's this super powerful technique that helps you avoid that exact problem by finding that perfect, just right balance between being simple and being powerful.
So let's start with this question, because it's something that honestly keeps every data scientist up at night. You build a model, the accuracy on your training data looks amazing, you're feeling great, but when you actually deploy it, it just falls flat. So why does this keep happening? The answer is a concept we absolutely have to master if we want to build models that are actually reliable.
And here is our villain, overfitting. Imagine you're trying to help a student study for a big test. Instead of making sure they actually understand the concepts, you just make them memorize the answers to the practice questions. Sure, they'll get a perfect score on the practice test, but what happens on the real exam? They're going to bomb it. That is overfitting in a nutshell. Your model didn't learn the real pattern, it just memorized the noise in your training data. So how do we stop our model from getting totally out of control and memorizing everything? Well, we hire some bouncers. In machine learning, we call this regularization. And you can think of it like a set of rules that penalizes your model for getting too complex. It basically forces it to focus on the most important patterns and generalize better to new data it's never seen before.
Now, our two main bouncers are named Ridge and Lasso. Think of Ridge as kind of like a careful sculptor. It gently chisels away at the model, reducing the importance of all the features without actually getting rid of any of them. Lasso, on the other hand, it's like the Marie Kondo of machine learning. It just ruthlessly gets rid of any features that don't spark joy by setting their importance, their coefficients, to exactly 0. Okay, let's start with Ridge. Its goal is to minimize the model's error, the mean squared error, but there's a catch. It adds this penalty term that's based on the sum of the squared coefficients. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, in plain English, it just means that Ridge really discourages the model from putting too much weight on any single feature. And this is fantastic for stability, especially when you have features that are all kind of telling you the same thing.
Now let's look at Lasso. Instead of squaring the coefficients, Lasso's penalty uses their absolute values. Now, this might seem like a really small change from that L2 penalty, but trust me, the impact is massive. This L1 penalty can actually shrink some coefficients all the way down to 0, which effectively removes those features from the model entirely. This is a total game changer because it gives us automatic feature selection.
So, we have this dilemma, right? Do we want Ridge's stability, or do we want Lasso's awesome feature selection? Well, what if I told you that you don't actually have to choose? Let's bring in our hero, Elastic Net. It's the Goldilocks solution that gives you the absolute best of both worlds. So how does Elastic Net work this magic? It's actually surprisingly simple. The formula, the objective function, is just a combination of the L1 penalty from Lasso and the L2 penalty from Ridge. And we get two main knobs to tune it. Alpha sets the overall strength of the penalty, and then L1 ratio lets us decide the mix. So if L1 ratio is 1, it's pure Lasso. If it's 0, it's pure Ridge, and anything in between is our perfect hybrid. To really get the difference here, let's think about it visually. The L2 penalty in Ridge creates a penalty area that's a perfect circle. So as the model is trying to find the best coefficients to minimize the error, it's being pulled towards the edge of this circle. And because the edge is smooth with no sharp corners, the coefficients will get really close to 0, but it's super unlikely they'll land exactly on an axis and become 0.
Now contrast that with Lasso. Its penalty region isn't a circle, it's a diamond. And what do diamonds have? They have sharp corners, and those corners lie right on the axes. This makes it way more likely that the best solution is going to be found right on one of those corners, which forces a coefficient to become exactly 0. This is the whole geometric magic behind why Lasso is so good at feature selection.
And here it is, Elastic Net, the best of both worlds. Its penalty region is this beautiful hybrid, a rounded diamond. It's got the corners from Lasso, which is great for feature selection, but they're smoothed out by the circular influence of Ridge, which gives us that stability and helps manage groups of correlated features. It's just an elegant solution.
All right, enough with the theory, enough with the geometry. Let's get our hands dirty and see how this all actually plays out in practice. We're going to jump into a Python notebook and run a head-to-head showdown between a basic linear model, Ridge, Lasso, and of course our star of the show, Elastic Net.
Okay, let's dive into the code. First things first, we've got to import our essential libraries. We need pandas for handling our data, and then a whole bunch of tools from scikit-learn. Fetch California housing to get our dataset, train test split to do our validation, standard scaler for preprocessing, our 4 models, and finally, some metrics to see how well we did. Then we just load up the data set and pop it into a nice clean pandas data frame. Now, before we start building anything, it is always a good idea to just take a quick peek at the data. Using .head, we can see the first few rows and just get a feel for the features. Then, .info gives us a great summary. We're looking for things like data types and, most importantly, any missing values. And what do we see? Over 20,000 entries and no missing values. Awesome. Our data is clean and ready to go.
Okay, this next part is absolutely crucial. Preprocessing. First, we separate our features, x, from our target, y, which is the median house value. Then we split our data into training and testing sets. Now, here's the most important part. We use standard scaler to scale our features. This is non-negotiable. Regularization penalties are based on the size of the coefficients, so if our features are on totally different scales, the penalty gets applied unfairly. We have to scale the data to make it a fair fight.
And now for the main event. We're going to instantiate and train all 4 of our models on that same scaled training data. And check out these results. Our baseline linear regression and ridge both use all 8 features as expected. But look at Lasso and ElasticNet. They both decided that one of the features just wasn't important enough, and they zeroed it out, simplifying the model by taking the feature count from 8 down to 7.
So let's just recap what we just saw there. Our basic linear regression model, that's our benchmark. Ridge acted like a stabilizer. It kept all the features but kind of reined in their influence. And then both Lasso and ElasticNet acted like simplifiers, right? They identified and completely removed a feature they decided wasn't essential, which gave us a much simpler, more streamlined model. Okay, reading numbers off a screen is one thing, but seeing is believing. Let's visualize these results so we can get a much clearer picture of how these different regularization methods are really affecting our model.
First up, let's look at performance. As you can see from the R-squared scores, all 4 models perform almost identically on the test data. Now, this is a huge takeaway. It means we were able to simplify our model using Lasso and ElasticNet without giving up any significant predictive power. That is a massive win in machine learning.
And this table right here shows exactly how that simplification happened. Just look at the coefficients. For the feature avrooms, the baseline and ridge models give it a pretty decent negative coefficient. But look what Lasso and ElasticNet did. They shrunk its coefficient all the way down to 0. The model is effectively screaming at us, hey, given all the other info I have, the average number of rooms just doesn't add enough value to keep it around. This is feature selection in action, right here.
All right, we've covered the theory, we've gone through the math, we've dived into the code. Now for the most important question of all. What does this all mean for you when you're building your next model? Let's put together a simple playbook to guide you.
Okay, here's your cheat sheet. If you think most of your features are probably useful and you're worried about them being highly correlated, go with Ridge. If you have a hunch that a lot of your features are just noise and you want a simpler, easier to explain model, Lasso's your best friend. And when in doubt, or when you have correlated features but you still want to do some feature selection, just start with ElasticNet. It is an incredibly robust, reliable, and production-ready default choice.
I absolutely love this quote because it perfectly captures what regularization is all about. A truly intelligent model isn't the one that's just memorized every single detail. It's the one that has learned what to ignore. It's learned to separate the signal from the noise. That is the real power of what we've been talking about.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Every single model you build is telling a story about your data. By using these powerful tools like Ridge, Lasso, and especially ElasticNet, you can make sure that the story your model is telling is clear, it's concise, and most importantly, it's true. Thanks for joining me today, and happy modeling.
Like and subscribe for SimplfyTech, explaining one concept at a time, simplifying the technology and AI.